That's five straight with a goal. I mean, have you ever been in a run of form like this? I mean, what would you what do you liken this to?
Yeah, I think maybe when I was playing college, I maybe had a run like this, but since I've been professional, I haven't had a streak like this. So yeah, of course, I'm really happy, and then I'm also really happy that we're getting the wins as well. So everything's good, and just keep the momentum going.
On that one, you sort of made this inside out run. Uh, is that I don't know. Do you feel like you are? It just seems like you're making better runs even than it's not just finishing. It's all the stuff that's putting you in position to be finishing.
Yeah, I think as a striker, you have to put in that extra effort and kind of anticipate that the ball's going to come, even if it's a very like low likelihood that it's going to come. You just need to believe that it's going to get there. And yeah, Paul just did a good job to cross it in, put it in a dangerous spot. I think it deflected off their center back, and I was just hoping the ball would kind of land towards where I was going, and it did. But yeah, it's definitely the little things that add up and score the goals.
All right, next question will go over to Jada Evans. Jada, go ahead and ask your question, please.
Thank you. Congratulations on the win, y'all. Albert, from your perspective too, I wanted to get a look at your perspective of Danny being able to finish. It seems like you guys have always been able to get the balls there, but you just needed that kind of consistent finisher. Can you talk about a little bit about that, about the change being able to get those goals this year?
Yeah, I mean it's nice when the first chance that we create in the last few games kind of goes in. It settles the teams down, and everybody's feeling better. And it's sometimes you have 10 chances in a game, but we've been speaking a lot about, especially on the road when we get that first chance, it's important to put it away. And then he did that once again today. And it kind of dropped the little bit of I don't want to say pressure, but yeah, it just settled us down. And then we gave up a goal from a set piece, which is something that we want to avoid in the future games. But then again, we were able to take the lead back. So I think scoring the first goal for us is important in any game, but especially on the road. And we know we have two more road games coming up. So like Danny said, it's a momentum that we have built over the past month or so, and our job is to keep that going and make the most of it.
And then Danny, you have been pretty calm since through this run, and I kind of gather that it's your personality, or is this trying to keep everything level because of the way that soccer can change in a second?
Yeah, I just think it's on focusing on what you can control. I think every day in training, I just try to put myself in dangerous spots, and then when I'm training well, I feel like it makes the games a whole lot easier. So I don't know, it is definitely an element of going into the game calm, going into the game, believing that you're going to score. But yeah, I mean, soccer is a crazy game, and things change. But I mean, right now I'm in a good, current run of form, so I just want to keep it going.
All right, reminder to media, if you have a question, please go ahead and hit that raised hand function button. For the next one, we're going to go over to Felipe Makeda. Felipe, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Alex. My question is for Danny. Danny, I don't know if you pay attention to numbers, but the longest streak on goals is 6, and it's for Raul Ruiz. Does that make you? Does that motivate you to keep on going, scoring, or this is just a number and you don't pay attention to it?
I mean, I think I just take it one game at a time. I wasn't really focused on the record until kind of recently, once it's tacked on consecutive games. But I mean, yeah, it would be nice to score against LAFC and keep the momentum going.
All right, I'm seeing a couple of hand raised for follow-ups, which is fine. Jeremiah, go ahead and ask yours, please.
Over 2 seasons.
Yeah, Albert, the competition within the team for starting spots seems like it's been pretty intense lately. I'm just curious how does that help raise the level and to be able to bring a guy like Pedro off the bench or Jesus, what does that do for this team's confidence?
Well, I mean, it's obviously a good thing from the team's perspective that you have a lot of quality on the bench. I think if you look even outside of MLS, if you look at the top teams, they all have that in common, right? And this game is not just about the 11 guys that start the game, but there's many times guys off the bench can change the game and influence it in a positive way. Another thing is injuries. We're dealing with a lot of stuff, and different injuries come at different times, and then someone takes a couple weeks to come back, someone takes a little bit longer, and then in the meantime, another guy has to step up. So whether you want to call it competition or just being ready when your time comes, because of other circumstances, it is what it is. And I think we have a good group of human beings that do understand that injuries can happen, and you're not going to play every game. But right now it seems like whoever's starting the game is doing the job, and whoever's coming off the bench is doing the job. And I think that's the recipe for success and to win things. So I think right now it's there's a good balance between both starting and coming off the bench.
All right, Jada, we'll go back to you for follow-up.
Great, thank you, Albert. Can you talk a little bit about that the second half, and Pedro coming in and being able to set you up for that goal almost immediately? Can you give a little commentary, I guess, on that one?
Yeah, I mean, well, he came in a game and immediately set up the second goal. So it's just going back to what I was saying, in terms of having an impact off the bench. And we knew that they were down to 10 men. So we wanted to score the second goal kind of earlier than later. We've played here before where we were 2 men up and couldn't score for 40 plus minutes. So they're a well-organized team, and it wasn't easy. But I feel like once we scored the second goal, it killed them in a way, and it put us on the front foot again. And from then on, we created more chances to score. And but your question about Pedro's impact, it was immediate with the assist.